Hi, this is Matt Greenwood, and here is my demo for my final version of Space Invaders. Let's go ahead and start the game, and we end up on the title scene here. The scene lasts for 8 seconds, which is configurable, and then we are switched over to the options scene, which right now shows insert coin 1 or 2 players because I have no credits currently. After 8 seconds there, we go back to the title scene. And until you enter anything, we'll just kind of keep flipping back and forth between these two scenes. I had intentions of also adding an attract mode screen where it showed gameplay, but never quite got to that. I also, on the title scene here, wanted to include the scores of the aliens, but I kind of ran out of time for that as well. So a few things that I had intended on adding, but never got around to. Since I just started the app, the high score is at 0, and it shows 0 for player 1 and 2. Obviously 0 credits, but to take care of that, if we hit the Q key for quarter, we add a credit. And if the options scene here changed from insert coin to push only 1 player button. Since I have the scene set to 8 seconds, it's pretty quick that it switches off of that back to the title scene here. But now we're back on this, and if I hit Q again to add a second credit, now it changes to push 1 or 2 players button, and I can hit Q a few more times, add some credits. So now that I've got some credits here to start a game, I can hit either the 1 or the 2 key to start a 1 or a 2 player game. So let's start with a 1 player game. Hit 1, and this is the player indicator screen. The score up in the top there, I don't know if you noticed, but it was kind of flashing, and it showed player 1. And now here we are. The aliens, as you can see, they take discrete steps and animate on every step rather than just continuous animation and kind of a smooth movement. And when they collide with this left wall, they're going to drop down and move to the right. And you can also see the UFO starts making its way across the screen there as well. I have the UFOs set to appear at an interval of, with an average of 24 seconds, I believe, plus or minus 4 seconds, and that is random. So they'll appear anywhere between about 20 and 28 seconds. You can see the bombs that the aliens are dropping are chipping away at those shields, and they're animated. We've got the plunger. I think we saw all 3 of them right there, the zigzag and the rolling bomb. I can also shoot the shields from the bottom and start taking them out. And as I start shooting these aliens, you can see the kind of explosion effect there. It shows that kind of splat sprite, and we get the sound effect as well. I'm going to see if I can hit this UFO when it comes back. So the sound changes. We saw the animation, the explosion sprite for a second there, and then it showed the score of that UFO for about a second there. Another cool thing that I tried to do was, you had mentioned that the original arcade game had a strip of cellophane that was green towards the bottom here and one that was red towards the top. So what I tried to simulate was, if you saw that the aliens, once they were getting closer to the floor in the area where the shields were, they turned green. And when I start a new game here, I'll also show you that the missiles, when I shot a missile, it started as green. Once it got up through the area that the aliens started in, it was white. And then once it got up to the UFO area, it was red. So let me start let's start a 2-player game this time. And I'm going to just kind of start playing as we go here. So now there's 2 players, so you see a score on both sides. But I'm in player 1 right now, so as I start playing, the player 1 score will start to increment. The high score right now is at 230. That was the score that I ended off with in that last game. Once I hit 230 here with this new game, you'll see So that UFO is worth 100. Now I'm past 230 now, so you'll see that the high score kind of moves up with this player's score. I'm going to try to... Oh, let's not get killed. I'm going to try to clear this level. One thing about this computer that I'm demoing from, I'm actually on my Mac, and I'm remote desktoping into my Windows PC. So there's a little bit of kind of lag. Everything's a little slower here than it is on the machine that this app is actually running on. So player 1 died. It showed the player indicator screen to show that player 2 is now playing, and now I'm player 2. So as I shoot, you'll see player 2's score up here starts to move up. And I'm going to die quickly here with player 2 so I can get back to player 1. Actually, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the aliens get kind of all the way down to the bottom of the screen here. So player 2 loses all 3 of his lives in one shot. So I'm going to kind of clear these aliens here in the middle of the screen. That missile got shot by, or got blocked by a bomb that alien dropped just before it hit it. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of let these aliens come down and get to the ground. And right now, so you can see, this shows how many lives I've got left. I've got 3. The current ship, and then I've got these 2 reserve ships. But what will happen for player 2 here is once these aliens, so you can see that they're kind of clearing away the shields as they get to them. And you can see what I would mention before. Now 2 rows of these aliens are green, and when I shoot a missile, it's green, white, and then red at the top. So now I died, and you can see that I lost all 3 of my lives, and it's game over for player 2. So now here's the player indicator screen back to player 1. He's got 2 lives left. The current ship and this 1 reserve. So let's see if I can clear this board. Again, you might have noticed it a couple times during the gameplay so far, but if a missile hits a bomb that one of the aliens drops, they kind of cancel each other out. You see a little explosion, and all right, so now player 1 is on level 2. What happens for level 2 is that the aliens start about half of a distance of a row lower than they did for... I was explaining, and I moved my hand from the cursors, from the keys, and couldn't get away from that bomb. But what I was saying was that I'll hide behind the shield for a bit. So the aliens started about half of the distance of one of their rows lower than they did for level 1. And they'll keep doing that until they get to level, I think, 7. And that's as low as they'll start, which is kind of like where they're at about now. So by the time you get to level 7, they're pretty much right on top of you right from the beginning. Another thing that speeds up as you continue through the levels is the rate at which the aliens drop their bombs. For level 1, the average time is 1 second, plus or minus about a half second. So it could be anywhere from a half second to 1.5 seconds if they drop a bomb. But that average rate speeds up as you go through the levels as well, up to level 7. So they'll be dropping bombs much faster at that point. The bombs still drop at the same rate, at the same speed, but they just drop much more of them, and they're already starting lower than they were from the beginning. So the game does get harder as you move on. I'm about to die here, and now it is game over for player 1. You can see he has the current high score now, and since player 1 and player 2 are both out of lives, we end up back on this options screen, and we will kind of flip back and forth between the title scene and the option scene again here like we did in the beginning. So I think that is most of the gameplay that I wanted to show. I'm gonna stop the app here and set this show collision sprites flag to true. Save, and then I'll restart the app. The colors of things are a little broken when I have the collision sprites on, but you'll get to see that the boxes are shown once gameplay starts. So here, we can see the walls, we can see the collision sprite around the alien grid. We can see one around each column. We can see one around each alien. As the bombs are dropping, when there are two of them on the screen, you can see that there's a bomb group around both of them. And you can see the UFO has there's a UFO group and a UFO. So there are two things there that show collision boxes. The bombs, when they hit the this floor here, that's when they explode. Oh, another thing for gameplay that I didn't really mention before was the ship movement. So the ship state, there are two different states that the ship has to control. One is the weapon state. So when I hit the spacebar real quick and fire, you can see he only can fire another missile when the previous one hits something. So I'm hitting the spacebar continuously here, and another missile only fires once the last one hits something. So that's controlled with the state, and also movement left and right. Oh, that bomb got right through that little gap I created. Movement here left and right. I can move either direction until I collide with that little wall you can see right here. So once I hit that, can't move left anymore. And let's not get hit by that bomb. Move right. Now hit this one, can't move right anymore. So those are, as I said, controlled with two different state variables that are stored in the ship. The weapon state is ready when he can fire, or used when he has fired the missile and he's waiting for it to hit something so he can fire again. And then the movement state is there's free movement, he can move left or right. There's against right wall, and he can't move right. And then if I get all the way back over the left, there's against left wall, so he can't move left any farther. I think the ship also has one other movement state called no movement, and I think that happens when he dies. When it's still showing the explosion. Let's see if I can get hit by a bomb here. I'm hitting left and right, but the that explosion stayed where it was because the movement state was set to no movement. So yeah, I think that's about it. Overall, this was really fun working on this project, and I think I learned a lot. So yeah, I think it was a success. All right, thanks.